Welcome to another NCIX PC episode of NCIX Tech Tips. This one is a little bit special. Instead of throwing a bunch of letters and numbers at you, hopefully we can get a post effect where I'm throwing letters and numbers at the screen. This system is called something different. It is called the NCIX Anniversary Edition NCIX PC 2014, which is more like random words as opposed to random numbers and letters. But what's special about it is that this is a sweet spot that is bang for the buck gaming configuration that comes at a sweet price with a ton of freebies included. Now, if you follow my channel, you'll be pretty familiar with the Fractal Design Define R4 because I've actually unboxed it 3 times, or at least two and a third or so. But this is a fairly unique Define R4. This is the Blackout Edition, something that was launched back at CES this year. In fact, I think it's just over, but Fractal gave away a Define R4 Blackout that was signed by me, Logan from Tech Syndicate, Marcus Brownlee, and a bunch of other like crazy big YouTubers as well. So very, very cool case. The key difference between the Blackout and the regular one is that the window is now smoked. It really makes NCIX's subtle glow lighting work extremely well because it adds some more, well, subtlety to it. It also means that when you look at it sort of at a more extreme angle, you can't even really tell that it's got a windowed side panel. So it's like, yeah, we're showing off the goods, but you gotta work for it. You know what I mean? All right, so let's go ahead and do a quick exterior tour since most of you have probably seen a Define R4 before. Beautiful brushed finish on the front. It's also got the usual complement of front I/O, so we've got microphone, headphone jacks, reset, power, and power indicator, drive activity indicator, and you got 2 USB 3, 2 USB 2, all that good stuff. Front ventilation is taken care of by 2 large vents down the sides of the very front bezel right here, meaning that those fans, even though the case has a solid front panel, are still going to be getting some airflow even if you don't open it up. So when you do open the door, you can see they've got a nice noise dampening foam on the inside, 2 5¼ bays, and then a massive, there you go, dual 140mm intake here that has a quickly removable filter that I'm not going to try and do on camera. Every time I try and do fan filters on camera, it's just like, I can't figure this out in time, and the camera's rolling, and the pressure is so high. At the top of the case, we've got 2 120 or 140mm mounts. In this system, we've got 2 Bitphoenix Spectre LED fans. Those are 120mm fans, providing exhaust for the inside guts that need to stay cool. And then on the back, our I/O is taken care of with 2 PS2 ports, 2 USB 2.0 ports, 2 USB 3 ports, 2 more USB 2.0 ports, HDMI, DVI, and BGA out, Gigabit Ethernet, and 5.1 audio out with reconfigurable jacks. Yes, it's a fairly basic I/O configuration on this system, but this is targeting that gaming sweet spot. So it's like ready to game out of the box. It's got the warranty and it's got the bloat-free OS and all that good stuff, but not spending any money on extras that don't really deliver extra performance. Now, speaking of things that do deliver extra performance, the graphics card is an ASUS GeForce GTX 762 gig DirectCU 2 overclocked graphics card. You can see the I/O for that there. And finally, we've got the power in for the power supply. So let's open her up. There's that frosted, or well, smoked side panel that I was talking about before. It's not really frosted. Frosted is not the same as smoked. I mean, can you imagine if they accidentally frosted like bacon instead of smoking it? Disgusting. Anyway, so for the CPU, we've got a Core i5-4670K that is cooled by a Corsair H60 liquid cooling unit. Got a single 120mm fan strapped to that on the back. The thing about the H60 is it has been upgraded over Corsair's previous value-optimized liquid cooler, so you get that 3/8" tubing with that really, really nice flexibility to it, as well as the better looks that you'll be able to obviously see through your smoked side panel. For the motherboard, it's got an ASUS Z87K board. So what that means is that this is like bare gaming essentials. A K board from ASUS means that you're not getting like a whole bunch of like fancy, we spent a bunch of money on this beautifully color coordinated color scheme and we did this and we did that. You are getting the functionality. It uses a Z87 chipset, so they've spent the extra money there to make sure that you can overclock the system, but it doesn't have those frills and gimmicks that don't actually deliver extra FPS. For memory, we've got 8 gigs of Patriot Extreme DDR3 1600, which is still the sweet spot, maybe on the lower end of the sweet spot, but again, it's that bang for the buck where you're not gonna lose any performance due to your memory, but you might not get that extra 2% for spending a fair bit more. For the graphics card, I mentioned before, it's a GeForce GTX 762 gig, and part of what's good about this one is that it does come with some pretty cool extras, which I will cover when I go through all of that stuff later. Now, the one thing where you could argue, okay, a little bit of money was spent on this system on something that doesn't affect FPS is the SSD. This is a 128 gig PLEXTOR M5S SSD. That is a very solid, very good SSD, but the system doesn't have a hard drive. And I would argue this is a worthwhile trade-off because an SSD affects the performance of your system in ways that go far beyond a couple more FPS for games. And even though it doesn't affect the frame rate of games, you can load quicker, which could mean getting to the chopper a little bit faster than other folks when you're playing games like Battlefield. So don't worry guys though, if you do want a hard drive, even though hard drives are on the website at regular prices, and this is like the anniversary system, it's supposed to be a great deal. If you add an anniversary system to your cart, you will get a selection of popular hard drives offered at an anniversary sale discount in the shopping cart, so you can check that out there. All right, moving on to the power supply. It's got a 500 watt FRACTAL Design INTEGRA PSU to go along with that FRACTAL Design case. The lighting is all done with BitPhoenix 120mm Spectre LED fans, and the subtle glow lighting effects are provided by BitPhoenix Alchemy lighting strips. The system runs Windows 7 Home Premium, again, gaming essentials, and we're moving on to the non-essentials. The extras, if you will. Now these are all while supplies last, but here's all the stuff that comes with this system. PlanetSide 2 t-shirt. Intel Skull beanie. I'm just gonna like demo these things because they're all kind of awesome. Okay. Intel Skull beanie. I'm gonna take the PlanetSide 2 t-shirt out of the box too. Oh my goodness, it's impossible to open. I'm having a lot of trouble here. Ah! There we go, yes. All right, I love these like vacuum sealed shirts. See, look how small they are. Okay, you're gonna wanna run this through the wash before you actually wear it because you can plainly see that it's a little bit on the wrinkly side there. So let's go ahead and put that on. Okay, next we've got, oh heavens, it's another t-shirt. Okay, well this is gonna be a bit of a challenge. We've got a Grid 2 t-shirt. Let's go ahead and put this one on. This is what you will look like if you buy this system. I mean, maybe not quite like this. Maybe you'll be smart enough to wear only one of the same garment at a time. But maybe not, in which case you'll look like this. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, priceless NCIX Deluxe Lanyard. Okay, people wear these in their top pockets, right? No, wait, no, bottom pocket, okay. Limited edition Intel Etch-a-Sketch. Limited edition Intel Rubik's Cube, so you can look like this while you solve your Rubik's Cube all over the place. And it comes with a bunch of software bundles as well, so you get Total War Rome 2, $60 value. Daylight, $15 value. $150 worth of in-game currency for Heroes of Newerth, Path of Exile, and Warface. You get Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn, that's a $30 value. You get Assassin's Creed 4, that's a $60 value, and that comes to a subtotal of like, I don't know, like hundreds of dollars of free stuff. Lots of freebies. While supplies last once again, guys. So the bottom line is, gamer's choice, bang for the buck system, great price with deals on other stuff offered like hardware upgrades and all that good stuff, tons of freebies, and if you buy one, you can be just like me right now. Don't miss any videos on NCIX Tech Tips by making sure that you are subscribed. Thank you very much for watching, and I apologize for the spectacle that I have made of myself right now. I think you're supposed to wear it above your eyes.